have to stop.
Man, that's some devastation, isn't it?
Fucking A.
Holy cow.
I'm amazed the road doesn't fucking melt. I suppose it does in some places, but it's pretty good condition really, isn't it?
I can't believe how clear and smooth everything is under the trees when there's no undergrowth.
Yeah.
You look like you could ride down the mountain.
Yeah. And the rocks.
Oh, the rocks, man. Crazy. Homer and Bart, Simpson's Gully, obviously. Don't know why. Probably not named after Homer and Bart, to be fair. Wow. Fire's just cleared everything. It must have come through here a million miles an hour.
Quite unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's also the new growth.
So, as you can see here, we're on a back road, and we're on a little bit of a mission to go and head back and finish the part of the road that we couldn't do on the Jack Adgery Northern New South Wales trip. This road was actually cut off from access about 3.5 months or so ago. We couldn't get through here. The firefighters actually stopped us at the other end, and you can see why. And it's really amazing. When you ride through normally, you can't actually see the contour of the land underneath the bush, you know, to actually see what it's like. But we're riding through here now. Down in all these gullies is almost nothing but ash and burnt wood and you know, everything that was lying on the ground is burned through here. I actually misspoke a little bit at the start. I think this was quite a slow fire that went through. It didn't burn the canopy. You can see that there's green leaves above that hasn't recovered. But interestingly, on a lot of the you sort of caught a glimpse of it there. On a lot of the trunks of the trees, there was new growth down, you know, at head height and above. And this area had actually had a little bit of rain through in the last month or so. That actually had a couple of times the rain had come through, and it was already starting to green up a little bit down on the actual ground. But you know, you look up all these areas that you normally wouldn't be able to even see what it would be like to ride on, and you know, you can see that it's all cleared through. All the undergrowth, all the standing trees and branches and stuff that have fallen off and over have all burnt out, so it's much more cleared out. So the tar seal eventually becomes a dirt road. That's the tunnel.
That's it. It was dug by convicts, man, by hand.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is.
This is the famous Old Grafton Road tunnel. Should have taken some digging. So after we headed down the hills a little bit, we got down to the Man River, which was not flowing very fast. The water looked much dirtier than when we were there before. But it was a pretty cool road. You could see that there'd been rain through the area, but it was just a nice winding, rising, falling, sometimes steep on the side, running right up to the bank. I did come head to head at one point with the grader driver, and he was obviously coming through. They hadn't been through for a while, so there was a lot of junk across the road, like you can see there. But generally speaking, the road was really good, and it was a bit of fun to wind her up and blast through there. So we zipped through this bit and got over to the rougher area where the track gets a little bit tighter. As you can see, it's a little bit muddy as well. With the rain coming down, it's washed some of the junk off the hills now that there's no vegetation to slow the water down. Only passed a few vehicles, a couple of trail bikes, and there were some campers down in the river. So yeah, fun little part of the world. Well, this is as far as we got last time on the Jack Adgery trip. So the firefighters were all over here and they turned us around and we had to go back. So it's fitting that we've come through this time and picked up the other end of that track. So we'll probably go to Jack Adgery and have a milkshake and then go from there. Good fun, good road. So over here on the Jack Adgery side of things, it was apparent there'd been a lot of grass growing since the last time we were through. We wound our way up from the river and headed into the bush and actually did a couple of the trails that we did on the smaller bikes. So they were good trails to cut off one side of a triangle, otherwise we would have had to go out to the road and then come up the wider highway. So it was nice for us to be able to blast up, and we were pretty sure that the gate at the other end was going to be open. You can see there's been a fire through here since the last time we were through. There were also a few trees down and stuff to get over, but it was nice to be on familiar trails and know that at the other end was the campground store at Jack Adgery. They do a nice toasted sandwich and milkshake and stuff there, so we based ourselves there for the Northern New South Wales trip 3.5 odd months ago. So the 790 on these types of tracks is just so much fun. It's like cheating. It's just, how much do I want to spin my back wheel, how fast do I want to get to the next corner, how hard do I want to go into it, and you just dial it on and it does whatever you want it to do. As far as the riding modes go, I'm in rally mode all the time. When I get onto this kind of thing, I put the off-road ABS on so that there's the ability to lock up your back wheel if you need to slide it into a corner to get yourself around, and a little bit of less intrusive ABS on the front wheel. I'm in rally mode 3 most of the time in this kind of stuff, just to save the back tyre. You don't want to spin it up crazy. Most of the time I've got the throttle setting on street, which is a compromise between off-road and rally throttle modes. It comes on okay, but you've got to wind the throttle on a little bit more to actually get it to really start to move out. But the problem I had with rally throttle setting is it doesn't it's a little bit more like a switch, and it's a little bit harder to actually do nice slides on. So On a lot of this, I'm either hovering or standing. I've got my boots back against my steg peg thingies that I made, and I'm pretty stable, pretty comfy, and able to move along quite well. So yeah, this was just a typical forestry bush track, and went up through a little bit higher over a mountain rather than going around it. A little bit of farmland to the left, and we didn't see too many other vehicles. I think we passed one four-wheel drive coming up, but obviously a lot greener than the last time we were here. Actually, maybe it was green from the rain the last time that we were here. It actually rained, so the final bit of the track actually just went through a bush area that came out at a gate right by the highway. So like I say, it was just a chance to ride dirt rather than riding dirt road and then highway, and when that option exists, I'm always going to take that. So that's pretty much it for this trip. At the end of this, we were within shooting distance of home, and I think we got home about 7 o'clock in the evening. We were rolling into Brisbane, so yeah, it was a great trip, cut short by fires and 43-degree temperatures when we were down around the Sheffield area, and so we decided to cut it a little bit short and get out of everyone's hair. But all in all, a great trip. So thanks for watching along, and please subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff if you enjoy it. Cheers.